Find out why our federal government has been shut down and what that means for you. Find out how the U.S. Postal Service is honoring the late Jimmy Carter with brand new stamps.
The chimney of a 20-story building collapsed in New York City this morning. Learn about the details of the scary situation.
It is Sustainability Month at the Kent State campus. Learn more details on where you can celebrate soon as Kent State TV starts now.
This is Kent Stater TV.
Good Wednesday evening, Portage County, and welcome to tonight's newscast at 6. I'm Evan Schofield.
And I'm Ryan Mead. Thank you for joining us. Earlier today, students received an email that listed a link of the annual security report. Every year, universities are required to publish a summary of the reported crimes on or near their campus. Because Kent State offers student housing, this report also contained an annual fire safety report that detailed policy statements and fire statistics. This report is to help make Kent State a safer place.
And a teacher in Hudson was fired by the Western Reserve Academy for a third-degree felony charge of engaging in prostitution. This was part of a large human trafficking case throughout Ohio. The academy learned of the allegations against Dr. Michael Ford on Friday before his contract was terminated. Ford, who identified himself as a science teacher, was arrested in part of the Operation Next Door statewide sweep. It's the start of October, meaning it's Campus Sustainability Month. This is an international celebration of sustainability in higher education where the goal is to raise visibility of campus sustainability where new leaders are formed in relation to Earth Day. Some events on deck are the Bra Recycling Drive on October 10th and 24th and the Mindful Mile on October 16th. Find out how you can participate at aashe.org. Well, journalist Connie Chung is visiting a local library.
KSTV's Sydney Brown has more on this story.
Evan, Ryan, good evening. I'm at the Cuyahoga County Public Library where legendary trailblazing female Asian American journalist Connie Chung is set to start speaking in just a few minutes. The event is sold out with over 450 locals coming tonight in attendance for a conversation with immigration attorney and lawyer Margaret W. Wong with Connie Chung on her memoir released last year.
You know, you can come to your public library and meet Connie Chung. I'm excited we're going to have people that this will be their first time coming into the library.
The library telling KSTV this event came together in under a week and a half when they learned Connie Chung was stopping in Ohio as a part of her book tour and brought her to Cleveland.
This is a big deal in our Asian community. We've got 47 different communities in Cuyahoga County, and so it's a challenge for us to try to find robust ways to serve each individual community respectively.
Connie Chung is expected to speak until 7:30 p.m. this evening, but going to be doing a book signing immediately following the conversation. Now reporting in Parma for Kent Stater TV News, I'm Sydney Brown. Ryan, Evan.
Your first forecast on Kent Stater TV.
Good afternoon, Portage County, and welcome to today's weather. To get us started out here in the state of Ohio, we can see it is still looking nice and sunny all around. Down in Cincinnati, we have 82 degrees, and around, if we go upward, it's a little colder in Toledo at 71 degrees, which is super nice. It's been really, really beautiful outside recently. And then as we zoom in more to our northeastern part of Ohio, we notice that it is a little chillier than our Ohio broader statewide weather. We can see that Sandusky is at a 68 degrees, and then if we go over here to Youngstown, it's 72, which I believe is one of the highest, with 73 being the highest. And yeah, let's just get right into the hourly for tonight. So at 8 p.m. it's going to be 60 degrees, and then heading down more to 12 a.m. it will be 51 degrees, getting a little chillier out there. So if you're a hot sleeper at night, make sure to open your window and let up in that cold air. It will be super nice. And as we get into today's weather, we can see that It was really nice out, 73 degrees. Everyone was walking outside and riding their bikes to classes. I know for sure that I'm still wearing tank tops and shorts outside, but at nighttime you gotta make sure that you get a little warmer because of that 60-degree decline. And with the sunset being at 7:06 tonight, make sure you go see that after our show. And that's all I have for you right now, but I will be back shortly with tomorrow's weather agenda and the extended forecast.
Thank you, Faith. From a government shutdown and state officials having some guts
To President stamps and media outlet cuts.
Here's Nick Sheffo with the news. Nick?
That's right, guys. A major crisis has just happened, with the government being closed down because of internal disagreements. The federal government is currently shut down and out of money because of the disagreements on funding plans. The main disagreement point is on health care and how Democrats are in favor of keeping Obamacare from expiring. Non-essential federal workers are now staying home, leaving government functions on hold. The Congressional Budget Office predicts about 750,000 federal workers to face suspension. Multiple city and state leaders are pushing back on the Trump administration's crime and illegal immigration enforcement operations. President Donald Trump announced that he plans on sending military troops to dangerous cities to, quote, straighten them out. Oregon was the first state that filed an emergency motion in federal court to block the president's deployment of federal troops to Portland. The U.S. Postal Service is honoring the late Jimmy Carter, who died last December at age 100, with new postal stamps. The Forever stamp is going to be out on October 1st, which is the 39th president's 101st birthday. The stamp features an image of a 1982 painting created by Herbert Abrams. The former president was known for was a prominent activist for human rights, peace, and social and economic progress around the world. Federal funds have officially run out after PBS, NPR, and multiple other media outlet cuts. Republicans in Congress clawed back $1 billion in funds that have been budgeted for public media. Public broadcasting corporations are now releasing staffers and slowing down its operations, marking the end of the federal government's fiscal year. CEO of the Corporation for Public Broadcasting says many stations will go under without federal support. Thanks for joining me today for your daily news updates. For more news, keep up to date with the Kent Stater. KSTV, I'm Nick Sheffo.
Thanks, Nick. In New York City, a chimney running 20 stories high collapsed earlier this morning. Bricks from the building covered the sidewalk with a cloud of smoke, but somehow there were no injuries. Several nearby buildings evacuated after the hearing that collapsed, and authorities are unsure of what caused the chimney to fall, but yet October 1st is often the first day that heating systems are turned on for the season.
Jane Goodall, the world-renowned primatologist and conservationist, has died at age 91 of natural causes while on a speaking tour in California. She was best known for her groundbreaking research on chimpanzees in Tanzania, which revolutionized the study of animal behavior and highlighted their human-like traits. Throughout her life, Goodall was a tireless advocate for wildlife conservation, climate action, and empowering women in science.
A popular coffee franchise has just announced on closing hundreds of stores across the U.S. Learn more about this impacts you, your local Starbucks.
European leaders met today in Denmark. We'll try to tell you what they talked about later.
Hey there, welcome to
Kent Core.
Kent Core.
Kent Core.
Kent Core.
To Kent Core.
Hi, I'm Leland Melvin, and I traveled to space twice as a NASA astronaut. Space technologies help protect our precious Earth Space helps us monitor changes in carbon emissions, track the pace of climate change. It even helps us fight natural disasters. Make sure that you get out to your local science museum or go to spaceforall.us to explore and learn about space and science. Space is for all.
Will spend 15 minutes watching online videos like this one.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes twice a day. They have the time.
Tomorrow's news leaders.
Today's top stories.
From an award-winning student newsroom.
This is Kent Stater TV.
Your community.
Your stories.
Starbucks has announced that they are closing stores across the country. Well, I don't know about you, Evan, but I like to start with a Starbucks in the library after class.
Well, Ryan, it's a good thing I don't go to the 2 Starbucks on campus because I like Dunkin'.
Well, here's Taria Sisia with more information on their store closings.
Thanks, guys, and good evening. Your favorite coffee franchise has just made a huge announcement that student Layla Faradas spoke on for her campus.
I'd hope they don't, because so many people use that as a place to do work, and people also use it as like a place to socialize, so I feel like they would lose a lot of business by closing on campus.
A well-known delicious caffeinated franchise with approximately 18,300 locations across the U.S. and Canada has decided to close over 400 locations in the country. With over 400 locations closing across the country, many students fear that Starbucks CEO Brian Nicole will lose their beloved campus Starbucks. In 2021, College Pulse surveyed local college students, finding that 51% of students preferred Starbucks over any other coffee chain. Student marketing major Layla Faradas feels having Starbucks coffee locations on campus brings students together. Starbucks has 2 popular locations on Kent State University's campus, one located at the Esplanade and another location inside the university library. Outside the campus, 2 Starbucks locations have been told to close in Ohio. The first location being 3568 Columbia Parkway, Cincinnati, Ohio, and 1400 Euclid Avenue, Cleveland, Ohio. In these locations in Ohio and across the country, with 434 stores officially closing, an estimated 15 positions per store, this will leave close to 6,510 people unemployed. For more updates on what Starbucks locations are closing, make sure to keep in touch with their social media pages and the Starbucks app. For more information, for KSTV, I am Talia Scassa.
Thanks, Talia. Walmart has announced that they are making changes to their food. The largest retail grocery store in the world announced that it will be getting rid of synthetic dyes from its store brand foods. They also plan to remove over 30 other ingredients, including preservatives and artificial sweeteners. Officials hope to keep their prices static during the transition, which is set to take place by January 2027.
Private payrolls continue to plummet. The cause of this, over 32,000 jobs from private sector businesses were lost last month. It may be a while before employment-based information are given to investors and policymakers. Due to the government shutdown, the monthly job report will not be available like usual. The U.S. hiring rate was last reported at 3.2%, the biggest drop since 2013. Well, with that being said, I think there's a big anniversary this year, Ryan.
That's right, Evan. And with more entertainment, our own Claire Duber joins us for more. Hi, Claire.
Thank you, guys. You are right. A special anniversary is among some entertainment news I have for tonight. Beginning with news for country fans, Lainey Wilson will be hosting the 59th annual CMA Awards. Wilson will be hosting the event for the second time and is tied with other artists Ella Langley and Megan Maroney as the most nominated artists at this year's show. More performers and nominees are planned to be announced in the next few weeks. Feeling nostalgic, Charlie Brown, Snoopy, and the Peanuts gang all turned 75 today. Creator Charles M. Schulz's comic strip characters appeared in only 7 newspapers for the first time in 1950. The characters' legacy continues as they are still featured in thousands of news publications around the world. To celebrate, museums around the country will be hosting exhibits and events for the special anniversary. Not exactly pop culture related news, but possibly a movie plot. A Florida salvage crew stumbled upon a shipwreck containing over $1 million worth of coins. Many still have visible dates and marks engraved on them, minted in the Spanish colonies of Peru, Mexico, and Bolivia. Plans for the pieces to appear in select museums is underway. Lastly, for entertainment news, a judge has rejected Sean Combs, also known as P. Diddy's, request for a new trial and acquittal. The hip-hop mogul was convicted in July of 2 prostitution-related charges, which both carry a maximum sentence of 10 years for each count. Combs is scheduled to be sentenced this Friday in a New York federal court. That is all for now. For KSTV, I'm Claire Duver.
Keeping you informed and ahead of the storm, this is your KSTV weather.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm so excited to tell you that tomorrow is looking a lot similar to today, which is leading us into a beautiful fall break for our Kent students. As we can see, it is also 76 degrees tomorrow, and I put down there in little highlights that the sunrise and sunset is pretty close to 12 hours, so you're going to get 12 hours of sunshine, and make sure that you use it before daylight savings comes around in November and makes that sunset closer to 6 p.m. I know for a fact that I like it more when the sun goes down later in the day. The UV index tomorrow also is going to be 5 out of 11, keeping those higher temperatures. And then the wind is going to be about 6 miles per hour, and the humidity isn't going to be too bad, but it is still a little bit of a higher number with 48%. And moving over to the extended for this week, it's kind of all over the place towards the end of the week. On Tuesday and Wednesday, it goes down to about 77 and 64 with high chances of rain, but in the beginning of the week we can see that it is still looking really nice outside. Make sure you take all of that in. It's going to be super sunny this weekend. I don't know if any of you are going home, but if you are staying in Kent, go walk around downtown and go get your coffee and have just an amazing weekend. I see that the lowest is about like 40 degrees at nighttime, so that's bringing us into more of our fall weather next week on Wednesday. And with all of that being said, so sorry about that. Thank you so much for listening. Tune in next week to hear more from me with KSTV. I'm Faith Nelson.
Thanks, Faith. In Indonesia, rescue teams are frantically searching for scores of young students who were buried under rubble after an Islamic boarding school collapsed. The students were mostly boys aged between 12 and 18 who were performing prayers when the building collapsed on the students' Monday morning. So far, authorities have found 6 people who were alive, and they have received food and shelter. In total, there are 91 people still missing.
Just days after drones targeted Danish airports, EU leaders will meet in Copenhagen to boost European defense. Most incursions have taken place in Poland and Estonia, with many precautions taking place. In an effort to up defense, Denmark has banned all civilian drone flights until Friday. NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte said, "We need to keep our skies safe." Rutte is willing to take any precautions necessary.
ChatGPT, write me a story how parental controls can be used to keep parents' kids safe. We'll tell you how ChatGPT is making new changes.
The Las Vegas Aces survived in a do-or-die Game 5 against the Fever to advance to the WNBA Finals in a thrilling overtime victory. We'll see how Vegas got the win and more.
If you can sit with me, imagine what you'd see if child had a book to read. 'Cause every kid across the nation deserves a book to read. And we can make it happen right now. No, I don't know what you've been told, but kids with books learn so much more. So the mission is for us to get a book to each and every child. So let's join hands, book people unite, unearth hidden passion. Come on, we'll have a good time. Planting seeds of inspiration to motivate some magic. To change the writing on the wall, writing on the wall. One book can make a difference. One book can inspire a child. One book can be the first element. Helps to change a life. We unite.
Read to a child today and spark a lifetime of ambition.
Good morning. Hope you all had a good weekend and are ready to be inspired. One quick thing I want to remind you guys to be studying.
Major key alert. Did you just look at your phone while you was in class? You played yourself.
Today we're talking about inspirational quotes.
You want to get that paper? You better turn in that paper and get an A+. That's a major key. Another one. Mogul talk. You want to reach the mountaintop? You got to go hard. To succeed, you have to believe. Stay focused. Fly higher than the eagle. Don't ever play yourself. The key is to make it, so make it.
Louise, can you give me an example of an inspirational quote from recent history?
Don't play yourself. The key is to make it.
And who said that?
I did. Now that's a major key alert.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at getschool.com.
This is your Kent Stater TV Sports Report.
Hello everyone, my name is Maddox Miller and we have had a busy few days in the world of sports, so without wasting any more time, let's get started with some Kent State athletics, where we're going to start on the green. The Kent State men's golf team is currently wrapping up competition in the Blessings Collegiate Invitational. The event began on Monday and currently the Flashes sit 8th in the 10-team field, but for individual golfers, freshman Flash Liam Curtis currently sits 17th, shooting 8 over. The Flashes finish play later today. Staying on the golf course, the Kent State women's golf team are also wrapping up competition in the Blessings Collegiate Invitational. The Flashes currently sit in 2nd place in the 10-team field, shooting 29 over. Sophomore Flash Gracie Larson is currently shooting 5 over to place her 5th amongst individual golfers. Kent State will wrap up play later today. And looking to tomorrow, the Kent State soccer team will host Eastern Michigan for a MAC matchup. The Flashes will look to get back on track after a 1-0 loss to Buffalo on Sunday. This will mark the end of a 3-game home streak for the Golden Flashes before heading back on the road to face Akron. Tomorrow's game will be played at 7 o'clock. We're going to head to the basketball court where the Las Vegas Aces took on the Indiana Fever in a Game 5. Winner goes to the WNBA Finals. MVP Asia Wilson getting a nice layup here in the second quarter. Later in the second, Aces up 2. It would be Kelsey Mitchell with a nice layup. She was having a great series. Asia Wilson with the steal here, and it would be Jackie Young running the length of the court for the layup as we're in the third now. It is a tight game. Later in the third, Kelsey Mitchell would hit a 3, but she was injured later in this game. Mitchell, one of the few remaining stars on this Fever team, would be out for the rest of the game. Asia Wilson now in the third, knocking down a 3. We go into the fourth quarter now, where it would be Odyssey Sims with a weird float layup, getting it to go. It is now 86-84. Indiana trying to stay alive, and it would be Sims once again getting the floater. This would force overtime, and in overtime, it would be a Chelsea Gray corner 3 getting it to go and looking for the dagger. Las Vegas near the buzzer. It would be Gray again hitting the 3. Aces would win this one 107-98 to advance to the WNBA Finals. And wrapping things up on the diamond, the Cleveland Guardians took Game 2 of the Wild Card Series against the Detroit Tigers earlier today, 6-1. Led by a 5-run 6th inning headed by a Brian Rocchio solo home run and a Bo Naylor 3-run shot. Cleveland has now forced a Game 3, a winner-go-home Game 3, which will be played tomorrow, potentially at 1 o'clock, and can be watched on ESPN. And that's all I have for today. To stay up to date all things Kent State or more, head over to kentstater.com. For KSTV Sports, I'm Maddox Miller.
Thank you, Maddox. A winner has been crowned for the Animal World's Fluffiest Pageant. Find out which furry friend won the competition.
I don't remember how it started. Our back and forth. Victory. Fumble. Repeat. It always came back.
Dad! Okay, here we go, throw it! Yeah.
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Nice.
I feel like her heartbeat is like same speed as mine. And I think we have this like deep connection, this heart connection in her heart, that there's room for me and Mom. When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer. It's a sensory thing. It's a thing with Asperger's.
She's really good with Anya. I've seen adults react to my daughter when she has meltdowns, like she's from a different planet. And this little animal just sat next to my child and was just like, you know, it's gonna be cool.
She's my superhero.
Good job, kitty cat.
When we adopted Lucky, we discovered all the wonderful things that make her unique.
Lucky's a little bit of a lot of things, but mostly she's pure love.
The Animal World's Fluffiest Pageant has recently crowned a new winner at Alaska's Katmai National Park and Preserve. A brown bear named Chunk now holds the title for Fat Bear 2025. Voters from around the world compared early and late summer photos of a dozen brown bears bulking up for winter. In the final round, voters decided that Bear 32, also known as Chunk, was the fattest bear of them all.
Parents need to listen to this one. OpenAI has announced new parental controls on their conversations with ChatGPT, as well as a parent resource guide, so parents can learn a bit more about a constantly evolving artificial intelligence. This links parents' accounts to their children's, where they can set age-appropriate limits. OpenAI said they worked with advocacy groups like Common Sense to get the best product out.
So we brought some friends along with us. So about these bears, you know, I've seen a couple of county fairs and seen some animal judge contests, but I've never seen a bear contest. Don't you guys think this might be a little bit dangerous?
Yeah, I don't know. I wish we could talk about it being dangerous, but that is unfortunately all the time we have tonight.
For more from us, check us out at KentStater.com. I'm Ryan Mead.
I'm Nick Sheffo.
I'm Faith Nelson.
And I'm Evan Schofield. Have a great night, Portage County.
When you reach for your prescription medications, you trust that the medicine is going to do what it's supposed to do, make you feel better. That trust comes from knowing that teams of doctors, biologists, chemists, pharmacists, and other health scientists at the FDA are working tirelessly to protect the health of the American public by making careful, informed decisions about which new drugs to approve. Find the answers at fda.gov/drugs.